little troubleshooting. Say you pull the trigger and no wire feed comes out. That's weird. Come on over here, we'll take a look. That's because the tip is fouled up because of improper welding technique, or maybe the machine was a little off in adjustment. You take a look inside the machine. Most of these have a quick release handle on there. Take a look in here. You'll notice we've got wire wrapped all around down here. That's called bird nesting. Right? You pull the trigger, you can see the wires feeding out here. It actually severed off, probably because it got too hot into the air. It's just bird nesting inside the machine. That'll just keep balling up like that. So we've got to do something about that. Okay? So here's how you get a bird nest clear. First of all, I'm going to lay my lead down on the floor just like this, so it's as straight as possible. Okay, so that means that wire inside the lead is going to be as straight as possible. You definitely want to always turn off the power whenever you're doing this. If you take a look in here, you got your two positive and negative leads right here. If you bridge this across when the power is on, okay, and you pull the trigger, that's going to send a lot of voltage through somebody. So you want to make sure you always have your power off there. It's always a good idea to make sure of that. Okay? You need some slip joint pliers, okay? And then you need some wire trimmers or diagonal cutters like these ones. Here's how you do it. You come in like this. You're going to pull down on this, and that's going to release it right there. The wire is supposed to pass through here, okay, and then inside this little liner right here. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pull all this stuff out first. You can see it got real hot right here. It's probably because it hit one of these leads here. Right? So we have to pull all this stuff out of there first, right, and get it okay. So I'm going to back the wire out like this. Okay. Now once this leaves this, okay, this is all going to unspool. This is under a lot of tension, spooled up, so you want to make sure you're always hanging on to this so you don't let the thing unspool. Right? So it's a good idea to have somebody help you so you guys are in good shape down there. Okay, once you have that undone, you want to take the nozzle apart. Okay? Pull the housing off like that. Contact tips, they always thread, so you're going to back that out. Okay, just like that off of there. Do not lose these. If you guys weld without these, you're going to have all kinds of issues. Most of all from me, because you're going to ruin the machine even worse. And then we're next step, after we've got that off of there, I'm going to take my pliers, I'm going to grab onto that wire that's coming out of the liner, and we're just going to pull it through there. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. This wire all has to be scrapped. Once it's severed, you can't use it. Only the wire that's on the spool. So I'll put that in my can. Okay. Now, we're ready to take our wire. So I bent through this little hole here. You could have somebody hold. I'm going to snip it off just shy of that kink. So make sure you've got a nice straight piece in there. Okay. Remember, our slip joint pliers, you could snip wire off right there in between those jobs. Then we'll come in here and feed it through. This is kind of a tricky part. You have to get it right in the middle of that liner there. And the curvature of the wire sometimes will not make it easy on you. Sometimes if you pull it out, you kind of bend it upward. That'll help. There we go, and then just feed it right into the liner like that. Probably a good foot or so in there. You're ready to put that in there, push up like that. This is the tensioner, do not move that. Okay, it's always going to be set where it needs to be. Okay. And then we'll turn on our machine. Power's on. Then we'll come down here, pull the trigger, make sure our wire is feeding, which it is. And then, eventually, it's going to travel all the way down that distance of the lead and come out here. Once the wire comes out through there, maybe about, I don't know, 10 inches or so, I'll put the contact tip back on, then put the nozzle over that, and that's it. Then I'm ready to go. Okay? It takes a little while for it to feed through, though, so we're going to say goodbye now. All right, wire came out. Take your contact tip, plug it back on, thread that back in there. Take your nozzle, plug it back on. Take your cutters, snip it off at about 3/4 of an inch length, and that's it. We're ready to weld again.